What's up, everybody? We are almost to the conclusion of ASL Season 12. Tonight, we decide who will get third place here between these two Zerg gods, Queen and herO. And then after this, we go right into the finals.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, Tastosis, it's feeling like deja vu a little bit, right? Queen is living through the same hell multiple seasons in a row. 4-1 loss against Mini in the round of 4. Now he's up against herO in the third place match once again. Now, is he going to win the first two games and get reverse swept? That's the next question.
Before we get started with our matches tonight, thank you everybody who's been supporting us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/ASL English. And now, only for Patreon supporters, you can get access to the Tastosis Secret Podcast, where you can hear us bantering, talking about life and our interests and, I don't know, video games. It's been a lot of fun, and a lot of the people have been telling us they're enjoying it.
Yeah, I hope you guys will enjoy it as well. So yeah, I mean, here we are, third, fourth place match. It's kind of like a funny match to have overall. It's like getting a bronze medalist. Is it very important compared to the others? Probably not as much. It is only going to be a best of 5 here tonight, as opposed to a best of 7 that we have in the round of 4 and the finals. Of course, the finals coming up, guys. As you can see, it is going to be Mini versus Rush. I cannot wait for that. That is just such a wonderful finals to be having.
Yeah, Mini versus Rush, man. This is not the finals we really expected. I mean, Mini's managed to come back yet again, and is looking to maybe be the best player in the world right now. But to have Rush come up like this and have a very different, very modern Terran player kind of dominating. You know, we've had a lot of Terran fixtures in the past that we really paid more attention to. Players like Light, of course, players like Flash before that, but even Last and other players. But now times have changed, and it really is Rush that is the king.
Yeah, and to see who comes out on top of that is going to be just simply delightful. Of course, that round of 4 match, guys, if you haven't seen that, Game 1, I've been talking about this a lot. Game 1 between Mini and Queen is one of my favorite games ever played. I think it's one of the most perfect StarCraft games ever put together. You don't really get perfect games, but if there was like a short list to nominate games that you could call perfect, that would be one of them.
Yeah, I mean, that was talk about not just a great game in itself, but for a tournament prep. I mean, we do not see people get dominated like that normally. I mean, there were so many good games, actually, but yeah, definitely go back and check that one out. So, again, the third place match will be that best of 5. You can see Eclipse, Ascension, Polypoid, Goodnight, and Lemon if we do get there. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see this go to Game 5. And honestly, I don't really even have a favorite here. I think that they're both magnificent players. I generally tend to think that Queen is a little bit better at Zerg vs. Zerg than herO. Even though he did defeat him last time. It's just, Queen, you think of his skill set and the decisiveness, the micro, it really comes to mind a little bit more than herO's play, which I always like for ZVZ, but anyone's match tonight, I would say. It's a tough one to call. herO and Queen are two very different Zergs, and I don't know about you, man, but I kind of find it hard to imagine what this is going to look like with these two. Yeah. Queen, I think, is a bit better when it comes to Muta Micro compared to herO, but sometimes that's not the most important thing in a ZVZ. Well, we've definitely seen a lot of different ZVZs lately, lots of mind games. Remember that hidden third proxy hatch? That was, I think Sulky did that. Just some crazy things coming out lately in Zerg vs. Zerg. So I hope that trend continues. I hope this isn't just like, very straightforward Ling Muta stuff, which we see very often in ZVZ. Well, we're going to have some of that no matter what, but I think there's going to be some mind games here, no doubt. Again, it is a best of 5. This could be a pretty short night, to be frank, guys. ZVZ oftentimes doesn't go on for that long, but if we're going to have a great long game, it would definitely be from these two guys. But, yeah, I mean, let's see what they have planned out here. Both herO and Queen eager to get back into another finals. These are two of the biggest threats, not just with Zerg, but with StarCraft in general. But again, Queen unable to win another ASL this year. He's going to be fighting for third place once more. Yeah, and I'm actually kind of hoping that he does end up taking it. I want to see this, I don't want to see Queen just die to the same two people each time. I want to see games traded back and forth. Because I tell you, if that just keeps happening to him and, like, next season it's the same top 4 yet again, that's going to be... That's the type of thing that you can actually get that in your head and come loose as a player as Queen.
All right, we're going to be going on to Eclipse for Game 1, and let's keep in mind that, with the way that the expansions are laid out here, there could be some sneaky stuff. Very small ramps. I believe the top ramp is a little bit smaller than the bottom, but we'll unpack all of that as we actually now go into Game 1. Guys, Queen versus herO, a fight to get 3rd place in ASL Season 12.
So in the top right, the 2-time ASL champ, it's Queen. And in the bottom left, the ASL runner-up in 3rd place last season, it is herO. And of course, Eclipse, yeah, our 2-player map. Going to be probably more straightforward, I would guess, because of that.
Well, I do wonder about the top left base and the 2 bottom right bases, if there's anything sneaky anybody wants to do, hiding a hatchery down there. Maybe not. I mean, one other thing I wonder about this map, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this ramp at the top, the ramp for Queen here, is slightly smaller than the other. I think so. I think when it comes to things like Zerglings, it actually matters.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is a 7-pool from herO.
Oh. Yeah, look at that. That's very, very quick.
Of all the rushes, 7-pool we haven't seen a lot of in the modern era.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, actually. Like 4-pool, 5-pool, 6-pool, 9-pool, overpool are those are the normal rush Zergling timings, right? Like that 7-pool is just not one of them.
Yeah, is 6-pool used? I feel like it's not.
You see 6 pools occasionally in like Zerg versus Terran, but not that often. 4 pool is more common.
So this is pretty unusual, and we saw an extractor made, and by the way, not canceled. So he is going to have that extractor finish up, and this almost looks like a 9-pool speedling rush on steroids. Do you see what
These Lings should be able to run around the Overlord, right? I think that's going to be the play.
I think not just that, but he's going to have Ling speed. And it'll look like, okay, it was a 7-pool, but then out of nowhere, Lings that are going to be insanely fast are going to come out here. And I think you're right. I think he can run around the Overlord. He may actually just want to go straight up and beeline it. I don't know. Let's see where he goes.
I bet you he'll go around. Let's see.
Yeah, you're right.
He's going to run around. Well, I like the runaround play because if you see this coming up right away, you have a lot more time to react. You can start saving larvae immediately.
Yeah, that's true.
You can cancel your hatchery or whatever it is that you want, or maybe leave it as like a bait. But like this way, he's going to see it so much later. Like, look, just now seeing it.
And again, the bigger secret is that Ling's speed has already been researched here. So it's not just that Lings are going to come up here and that's going to be a threat. It's also that out of nowhere, you're going to have these Lings just attacking you so quickly. And the drones are being pulled. He's got 5 over here on the ramp.
Oh, man. 5 drones coming down, or 6 drones coming down to fight 6 Lings is not a very good fight. Queen having a bit of a hard time here, and as more Lings come up, he's got to be careful here not to lose too many drones. Lings coming down with his drones now, trying to get some drills off. Overall, very good engages from herO so far.
Pops 1 drone. The Lings getting a pretty nice arc around here. Queen's control is actually pretty impressive, all things considered, but another drone does end up getting killed off. Keep in mind, herO had to sacrifice a lot of drones to get into the position that he's in right now, so you need to kill some drones and get that exchange going.
Ooh, catches some Lings as they pop out of those eggs there. And look at this. Ends up killing just about everything. There's a lot of low Lings here. And herO turns to fight with his drones. He's kind of half holding it, but more Lings coming up right now.
Oh, my God. And he's going to go for the closer here. There's just not enough to really take this fight. Another drone goes down, and I think we're almost to the end of this game as the rush has worked. You even saw herO kind of breathe a sigh of relief there. The hatchery is going to go down. There's 3 drones total, and that means that herO has absolutely outpaced him in workers as well. And GG, a very smart opening here from herO. And I don't know about you, Tastosis, but I can't think of a game that you and I casted where we saw that.
No,
right?
a 7-pool speed run around. No, I've not seen anything quite like that. But you know what? In a way, look, here's a real problem, Tastosis. I'm going to be attributing everything clever to Mini versus Queen Game 1 for the next year. I'm like, I think he was inspired by Mini.
That Zealot running around.
Yeah. The Overlord not seeing it and everything, and it's like a slightly off one-base build. I'm like, yeah, no, this was Mini's
really?
Zerg versus Zerg
Taking
build
a
that herO
page from
stole.
Mini and then going with Ling speed to top it off. True innovation here.
Yeah. You got Ling speed. That's the one thing that he innovated here that Mini didn't do.
Yeah, we didn't see a Citadel with Zealot speed in that other game.
No. Oh, man.
So,
yeah,
again, it's not just that the Lings get there. It's the surprise of having Ling speed suddenly finish. So you have this back and forth where, obviously, in a normal game, it's likely that Queen can retake this. But to have the explosion of Ling speed, let's watch in this replay here. The moment it comes out, and Speedlings are so much stronger than slow Zerglings, and it's a lot harder to skate around in the fight with the drones. And so you could see any loose end he sees, he dives on it. We saw the drone get picked off there. He can also cause threats by going into the main. He didn't have to this time around here, but, ultimately, this fight here where it seemed like Queen might have been able to take it, but there were enough bruised Lings to pretty much tip him over. That was where the game really ended.
Yeah, so very well done there from herO, bringing out a very aggressive game number 1. Doesn't necessarily mean that this is how the series is going to go. You know, that's something that can really catch anyone off guard, even the 2-time ASL champion.
Well, there's just not a lot you can do to prep for that unless you can kind of instinctually prepare for that moment where Ling speed might be done that early. But going with a 7-pool into speed in a build I haven't seen that, I got to say, I'm very impressed. herO taking game 1 only needs 2 more wins to be 3rd place in ASL Season 12.
Alrighty, well, here we go. Right into set number 2 on Ascension. See if Queen can tie it up.
It looks like that game's going to be loading up in a second here, but definitely a frustrating loss there for Queen. Got the rug pulled out from under him before things really got started here. Now I'm curious what other builds herO might have in store, because that was clearly a build engineered to use on a map like Eclipse, but we don't have any more 2-player maps, or maps with 2 spawns, I should say. And Ascension certainly widens things up, being a 3-player map.
Yeah, definitely going to play out very differently because of that as well. You have no ramp going up into your main base either. You do have like those double eggs that you can make the concave around, but maybe a little bit easier to break through. So we'll see how they end up handling that. Of course, there is a little bit of randomness on which direction you're going to scout with that initial Overlord as well. We have seen people get a little bit unlucky there.
All right, guys, we're ready to go into Game 2. Right now, herO with a 1-0 lead over Queen. Again, the winner of this series gets 3rd place in the last ASL of the year.
Up at 12 o'clock, we have Queen trailing that 1 game right now. Sending his Overlord in the right direction, though, towards that bottom right spawn where herO is residing. His Overlord going in the wrong direction. Now we just got to kind of wait and see, is anyone going to pull a quick rush here once again?
Yeah, let's see. You don't have a high ground area for your main base. That matters a lot in ZVZ. And we're going to have to see if it's going to be 1 base play or 2 base, depending. It's pretty clear from Game 1. Queen was expecting to play out a pretty normal ZVZ, where herO went for a pretty smart, not just build order win, but if you have the micro and the control, you can basically outmaneuver them, and manage to get a kill move off there on Queen.
Do you think that herO is going to maintain a more aggressive approach throughout the series on Queen, or is that just like a one mix-in?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's possible, but I think herO is more than capable of playing a long macro game here, you know, so it just depends. I mean, certainly that was a great build to open up with on Eclipse and made for, a pretty punishing ZVZ. It really is like a double whammy, right? Like, the Lings come out, and immediately you think, oh god, this is so early, this must be like a 6 pool or a 7 pool. But the ace up the sleeve is really that then he actually goes for Ling speed out of nowhere, and that's when the Zerg can lose control. But we're not going to have a game like that this time around. So far, the builds are mirrored. Both sides are going for hatchery first, with a later pull in gas.
Yeah, all right. So, going to be a little bit of a longer game, I would say. The pool's going down. Yeah, pretty mirrored builds right now. That Overlord going to be coming down and spotting the hatchery first. So, a little intel advantage coming up now here for Queen.
And one thing we should watch for in these positions, and this will also depend, by the way, on whether or not they can get spores, but the main is closer, or Queen's main is closer to herO, whereas herO's expansion area is closer to Queen, as far as air goes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and obviously, they're basically neck and neck right now with tech. It looks like there's this, like, an 8... a 1 worker return gas lead here. But really, they're basically neck and neck. Actually, they've evened out now. So it's going to matter if somebody gets a lead as far as Mutalisks go and can harass, whether that be the main or the natural. Those are going to be the targets here.
And one thing to note, you mentioned spores. I think that we basically, it's very, very rare to see spores unless one player went 1 hatch layer and the other player went 2 hatch.
That's right.
So very likely it's going to be one of those kind of knife's edge games where you're trying to keep track of where your opponent's mutas are, because, if you get a little bit out of position, they fly in, obviously you're going to lose a bunch of drones, but in those games, we see like a lot of zoning back and forth, and then Lings trying to kind of gain that intel, maybe gain a little edge with a counterattack as well.
2 Lings are headed up here towards the entrance. Right now, it's really a race to get out as many drones as possible. And he can do a little scout through here. He's going to get the confirmation that, and by the way, it's much needed confirmation as to what's going on here, because it was Queen that actually got the convenient Overlord scout, whereas herO had to actually send Lings in and try to identify what's going on. The layers are going to finish at the same time, and now the spires are going to start.
Yeah, both sides starting to pop out quite a few Zerglings as well. I expect to see that kind of continue on both sides. It's very normal to see this exact thing happen, right? They both kind of drone up to what they need, and then you just start pumping out those Zerglings, trying to punish your opponent if they're being too greedy.
And so these Lings are going to be headed up here now from herO. The second gas is being taken. Again, it truly is mirrored build orders here.
Yeah, it really couldn't be more similar than it is. They're actually like at the exact same gas count, the exact same supplies. Although herO, man, he's got a good 80 APM lead, so I'd say he's in the lead.
Certainly he's doing more with that extra APM. So the second gas finishes, and look at this. This is funny because, you and I are not Zerg vs. Zerg experts, but it's kind of cool to see it's exactly 3 drones at each natural, and then they take all 3 drones and put them in the gas there. So this is clearly the optimized build to power up on 2 hatch versus 2 hatch Mutatech.
Oh, totally. It's funny, too, right? There were actually 4 drones. One made the extractor, so...
Yeah.
It is very cool to see mirrors like this where the builds line up perfectly. Oh my God. Well, that's 2 drones killed by 2 Lings. So this is a huge advantage that was just made for Queen.
Yeah, and he might even get a 3rd. We'll have to see. Has not lost these Lings yet. There's more Lings coming here now.
Oh, man. Trying to chase him down with, like, every Ling he has. Queen bringing over the rest of his Zerglings here as well. So if you're out of position chasing 1 Ling, you can take a bunch more damage.
The Mutas hatch as these Zerglings are coming up here, and he's going to have to pull away. That's definitely enough Mutalisks.
He lost another drone, Tasteless.
Oh, my God.
Crazy.
Well, herO has more mutas. There's oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Gotta get another one. Unreal.
Oh, just saved it there. So close.
So the mutas are wait. As far as drones go, it's still Queen has an advantage, right? I think it was 3 drones killed back there.
Queen should be up 2 drones right now, but obviously we don't see for sure. But yeah, I believe he's up 2 drones.
And I think Queen's basically going to be looking for a fight coming up here. It is a higher muta count here for herO. He did not elect to make more lings first. And herO may have a small window where he can try to come in here. He's got a pair of Scourge. More Scourge are coming. If he can win this dogfight over here, he could end up killing Queen off.
Oh.
And there's a stray muta. That's huge.
That is gigantic. I can't even believe what we just saw there. And a counterattack coming in here from Queen. So the Lings are going to put insane damage out very quickly. If Queen can buy time with his mutas and just barely go even on this fight, his Lings might make all the difference.
Yeah, herO, I think, is actually going to take this fight. I mean, there's more mutas hatching here. I guess with some extra Scourge coming out, if he can target them down, the fight can continue on, and so it will.
Oh, man. And yeah, herO is just doing massive work here. His Lings have killed his opponent's natural as well. Of course, we see that on both sides. And do we have a... Oh, okay.
No, he taps out.
It's going to be a GG called out.
He taps
herO
out.
going to take game number 2, but with the drones going across the map, I'm like, no. Could there be some sort of crazy base trade? But no, with that Mutalisk advantage, you're never going to lose that.
This has got to be frustrating for Queen. I mean, Queen got the edge in a very Queen-esque way, getting in there, killing the 2 drones on the gas, and then getting another one in the main. But herO played the very bad hand he was dealt after that perfectly. Got in there with the right number of Scourge. There was also a Mutalisk just stuck that wasn't moving. Remember that at the start of the fight?
Yeah.
That was a weird moment. I mean,
huge.
obviously the Mutalisk is the most important unit in that moment, so to drop that one muta certainly didn't help in that fight either. And now herO is just 1 win away already. I feel like I'm barely warmed up to the cast here, but
I know.
He's already 1 win away from actually getting 3rd place and knocking Queen down to 4th.
Oh, once again, that would be so painful for Queen, having just Groundhog's Day in the worst way here in ASL. But you know what? Anything can happen, Tastosis. It's Zerg versus Zerg. Maybe Queen can turn around after this quick commercial break.
이렇게 좋은 날엔 홈캠핑이지. 홈캠핑엔 고기, 고기엔 칠성사이다. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 완벽하네. 칠성사이다.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
이번 주 등산 어때? 등산. 캠핑? 그래서 주말엔 낚시?
내가 낚인 거지.
그래도 나오니까 좋잖아. 일상에서 취미까지 나누고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피. 칸타타.
야채 착착. 당토 톡톡. 아보카도 슥슥. 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
이렇게 좋은 날엔 홈캠핑이지. 홈캠핑엔 고기, 고기엔 칠성사이다. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함.
완벽하네.
칠성사이다.
울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와, 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
아이시스 8.0을 챙긴다는 건 건강한 생각까지 챙긴다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지. 아이시스 8.0.
Hey guys, welcome back. Once again, thank you very much for supporting us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/ASL English. Having a great time this season. The season is wrapping up. It's been an amazing one. One of my favorite seasons, Tastosis, I would say.
I'm going to say it right now, Artosis. I kind of like Flash not being here this season.
You are a hater, Tastosis.
Come at me.
What about random Flash? What rank it? Flash is Terran, Flash is random, no Flash.
Okay,
How does this
you know what?
rank?
I'm going to say this right now. I thought I was going to be blown away by Flash playing random. He got Terran enough times that I'm like, oh, well, that's just not fair. I want to see Flash with an ASL as Zerg or an ASL with Protoss. What do you say?
I don't even know what you're talking about because he barely got Terran at all. He got Terran like 2 times out of like 15 games.
What are you talking about, Artosis? That did not happen.
He got so few Terran games in that random run, but he did so well. He got top 4. It's crazy with random. But I tell you what, he screwed up the ladder, Tastosis. There was a lot more random players when he was doing that.
That's true. That was an issue.
And you must have felt that, right? Like as a Protoss, that is brutal.
Nervously making my pylon in my main and then scouting right after that. Yes.
Yeah. But no, I would love to see him go main a different race and try. But we'll see when he comes out of the military. But no, this season has been great, and it has been wide open with no Flash in it. He always kind of messes it up in the way that you know the certain ways that the bracket will go or won't go.
Yeah.
But here it's funny because it's like, well, we keep saying like, oh wow, this was kind of unpredictable and kind of crazy, and then we have like basically the top 4 from last season, so maybe we're wrong on that too, but it definitely feels that way.
Yeah, this has been a really good season though, and it's been kind of cool. You know, obviously we're doing the ZVZ here now, but to just see Mini as the only Protoss to get top 8, and he's still now made it to the finals again, and I do think he is the favorite now of this ASL.
Yeah, like he may well be. And I mean, we had, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, no, we had 3 Terrans make it up, and now we have Rush in the finals. So that's pretty good. But yeah, you know, the Zergs have been fearsome, and you know, Queen and herO obviously both making it back up into that top 4, but not quite to the finals, having to battle each other once again. And right now, herO leads 2-0.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine a world where herO doesn't walk out here, getting 3rd place and you know, ending on a high note. Here in the 3rd place, 4th place match, but let's see. I mean, Queen could reverse engineer this pretty quickly, but he's got to basically play 3 perfect games in a row, and ZVZ is such an unforgiving matchup.
Yeah, it feels like if herO just does like some aggressive plays 3 games in a row, he should be walking out with 3rd place. But you know what? If I'm recalling correctly, last season Queen went up 2-0 and they got reverse swept, so I'm not calling it yet.
Okay, so we've got herO in the bottom right as a taupe Zerg. light green. And what color is this up here?
That would be yellow.
Is it really that yellow? I feel like it's kind of I guess it is yellow.
It's a dusty yellow.
These look like it's like the different colors here are like different bathroom soaps or something here. So obviously 4-player map. In this case, cross spawns. No dirtiness out of the gate here. No 7 pool, no 4 pool, nothing like that. I'm still intrigued by that game 1, man.
Yeah, the 7-pool build looked really cool, and I mean, he executed it very well. It seemed like Queen's micro wasn't bad, but he just kind of got that kill right off the bat. Seems like a cool build for a 2-player map.
Yeah, it's oh, hold on, we have a pool that's come down here now for herO. Artos, I was getting a drink of my water. That was before Overlord, is that correct?
Yeah, I believe that's just straight up a 9 pool from herO.
And there it is. He goes with the extractor as well, as we can see on the mini map here. So it's going to be 9 full speedlings, unless he decides to go for an instant layer.
Yeah, it definitely could be either one. We'll see about that. And it is going to be a pool first here for Queen. So generally when we see these two builds hit each other, we do mention that Queen, his build is going to be just slightly stronger. Like his hatchery isn't so quick in his pool, thus so slow that the 9 pool can really hurt him. So he'll have just like a slight drone advantage here.
Yeah, he'll have 1 or 2 more drones out, which is really a huge deal. I know StarCraft's a game where, you know, worker production in most of the matchups is just a constant until you really get into late game. But, you know, ZVZ, the action picks up so quickly that you can barely get any workers out before you have to start really respecting the other side. So this is, I would say, overall pretty good for Queen, but we should have a little nod over here to herO, teching into Ling's speed, and we need to see how much damage can be achieved, because it's not that many drone kills to even it out or even get ahead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure, yeah. And, I mean, you're going to force him to kind of back it up into more Lings. He's not really going to be making drones, so going to be hard for him to recover from there if you do get a few. And the Lings going up the right side here, they're going to find nothing. So he's going to know that Queen in the top left. He's going to be coming in from an angle that maybe Queen's not expecting, especially as their overlords kind of meet, right?
Yeah, I only see, 4 Lings back at home, maybe 5. There's 1 Ling coming out here to scout, and so he's going to see this.
Him now.
But this Ling really can't get back home. He can't be used to try to help defend. Now, the area at the natural, just adjacent to the hatchery, you can basically put a little set of Lings over here to try to fight. Oh my god. He actually gets up, and he takes out 2 drones.
Oh, that's crazy. 2 drones right off the bat like that. Oh my god, he almost gets a 3rd drone. 3rd drone just barely getting away. The other group being microed at the natural, but he's way outnumbered there. I want to get back to that main base. Okay, a bunch of Lings dying, but doesn't quite get that very damaged drone.
Yeah, where is that drone, actually?
He's like on one of the inside patches right now.
Yeah, I think so. He's just sitting there. But yeah, you got to watch out for that. I don't think he's going to get another kill here, but this does put our supplies even here. There is, of course, an extra hatchery here for Queen. The Spire, of course, already starting up here, and it looks like Queen may try to seesaw the game back into his advantage by doing a Ling flood, but herO's really been making Lings the entire time.
Yeah, he has quite a few. I think he does have to take the top of his ramp, though.
I agree.
mean, when you're playing against 2 hatch, you're just not going to have enough. So you need to have that concave to kind of equalize it a bit. Now, pulls back to his natural, actually takes a good first few hits there, damages some Lings for Queen. But again, the 2 hatch is going to be a very difficult production to overcome. So yeah, he's going to run up his ramp, take that concave, and he should be able to hold here while he gets to his mutas.
Yeah, he should be pretty much safe. We're seeing this little Ling wall, and it takes a little while to set up, but once you have that like perfect line of defense there for the Lings, it's very tough to actually burst through the bottom. But Queen was making a lot more Lings and actually hid them until the last second now, barreling across the map, and this puts herO in a tough spot. He has to choose to commit to Mutalisks, which I think he is actually doing now, or make more Lings and try to defend.
Here we go, going to try to break up that ramp. Not really working out for him right now. I feel like herO's defense is pretty solid, but there are so many Lings for Queen trying to get up here, trying to break through this wall. herO continuing to hold, taking a nice concave. You can see how it gets a little bit messy when you start losing Lings up there, pulling them back, trying to get them to concave. No one in the world quite quick enough to set them up perfectly. And now as the mutas come out, this is held.
Yeah, pretty beautiful hold here from herO. I got to say, herO's blowing me away with his ZVZ ability. He really does seem to be bigger, faster, stronger than herO in every sense. Or than Queen in every sense, excuse me. The mutas are inbound. There's enough Lings here for herO to defend, but he hasn't done any damage with his Mutalisks just yet. We see herO now taking an additional hatchery while the mutas are headed northbound over here towards the main.
Yeah, here we go. The second Spore is going to be finishing up here in a second. He gets a drone, though, before it finishes, so that's a very strong kill. That layer, of course, on the way. Looks like he's going to be taking his own natural. That 1 Ling is still alive in the main. Damn, Queen.
It's pretty wild.
That's crazy.
But I don't think he can get much more done. I do like the quick expand here from herO. But I don't I don't think Queen's going to be hurting too much more. I think he can actually pretty comfortably tech out of this. It is a substantial gas lead. herO is very much so in control of the game. I like that herO's leading these Lings over here at the ramp as well, just in case a counterattack comes.
Yeah, no, that's a really smart move, and to leave the Muta over the hatchery as well, just put damage on anything that comes in. I like the way that he's playing it, and I think that it's really smart for him to be taking that natural as quickly as he can, just to make sure he doesn't get lapped in gas.
It's important to think about these Zerglings as a resource of their own as well. Mutalisks can kill Zerglings very quickly, so any extra Lings that are shot down is going to dampen his ability to do a counterattack later on. And I think so far herO really is playing a very masterful ZVZ here, and even in these very tiny ways, cutting out opportunities for the opposing player Queen here to try to figure out how to get an edge here.
That Ling, okay. Finally. The Ling falls. The third hatchery coming up here for herO, kind of getting into a macro game. I don't oftentimes see someone open 9 pool and then play it like this against 2 hatch.
Yeah.
This feels very novel to me. Obviously we cast like all the ASL games. We watch a lot of StarCraft outside of that as well, but doesn't this feel kind of neat and slightly different? Normally it feels like the 9 pool guy is like being slightly more aggressive. Obviously, eventually getting that natural up, but even this third hatch feels kind of cool.
Yeah, well, he's definitely leaned into macro. I think he really took a moment to basically tempt herO, or Queen, into attacking into him, and then shut that down pretty quickly. And, Queen doesn't have a lot to work with right now. He's in a game of catch-up, and he will eventually get a lot of mutas out in this game, because he's been mining from that second gas for a while. But I think herO may be able to actually match or maybe even outproduce with this third hatchery, with how quickly he even got the second hatchery. He's playing extremely well.
Yeah, and he should just have kind of more gas overall this game, because, there was like a long period where Queen wasn't mining and they got their second gases at similar times. So it feels to me like herO does have that advantage. I'm sure if he's playing like this, I'm sure that he started Air Carapace. Right, it just wouldn't make sense not to, because anyone who goes Spores is going to have to start that. So he should be able to get his upgrades at least on par with Queen's. So I feel like this right now becomes a little bit of a question for Queen tactically. How do you fight back in this spot? He does have some things going for him, right? He's had a lot of drones for quite some time, and he's got the Spores up, which is a really, really helpful thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what his play is going to be, though.
Well, look at all these drones hatching here. I mean, he's really staying one step ahead, and, it is a tricky game of catch-up here for the guy that is forced into going for the Spores, but it seems like now we're really getting into an actual macro ZVZ Artosis. We're seeing more and more drones hatch.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Queen, taking the initiative and trying to take that additional base. Now, one thing to keep in mind, guys, is that while Queen does have 4 Spores total, herO does not have any. And so there is this constant threat of, let's say, herO moves out a little bit on the map, and next thing he knows, all of Queen's mutas are actually killing off his drones. He doesn't know that, but, it's a problem. And it's why he has this sort of nice spaced out set of Overlords here around the bottom, and he's trying to push out very carefully. Now, he's going to see these Lings over here, and seeing that drone certainly gives away the plan here. And it looks like he wants to expand over here towards 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it seems like he also wants to get that additional base up. The Ling's actually wrapped around, so it looks like that will be denied for now. A couple Spores are on the way, and it's just a higher muta count for herO, so it feels like this is going to get killed off, right?
I think so. I think the Spore can't finish in time. It's taking about 100 damage per shot. So he just, look at that, he has one muta just attacking that one Spore. Everything else going to come down to the Mutalist dogfight over here. When a Spore finishes, does it lose any hit points? No, I guess it doesn't, does it?
No.
It's only a Sun Colony that has that happen.
But look, the micro of Queen here has been really phenomenal. He's picked off so many Scourge without really taking hits there. He's doing a pretty damn good job, and he actually buys enough time for that second Spore to hatch.
Wow.
Oh my god. I can't believe he held that. Look at that.
That's pretty insane. But the Lings are going to come in now.
Oh,
Almost decides to go and pop that spore.
And Ling's not really finding anything to do there. In the meantime, Queen going for a counterattack into the main base with his own Zerglings. Some mutas will be able to chase them, but it looks like they should be able to kill at least a couple drones.
Yeah, he's going to drop one just there. Meanwhile, herO has the same idea to try to come in here and kill off any drones he can find. By the way,
this
there's
is
still
a really cool game, Tasteless. This is
it's a really impressive late game ZVZ is what we've got here, Artie. I mean, this is some really technical stuff, and I do have to point out here, you know, I think Queen has basically passed herO as far as the economies go here. I don't think that this third base can be killed, and with 3 gases, that only means way more mutas, right?
yeah, I would say so over time. So herO may be feeling the pressure right now. Oh, man, it gets killed. His attempt at the third base killed off, not even canceled. So that is a big loss in minerals. Now look at this. We're having a bit of an engagement.
What?
Queen with far fewer mutas, going to fly through that flock back to his spore, but the spore is actually very low as well. So herO guns it down and going to continue to chase these mutas, but really not microing very well, honestly. This is like kind of an attack move, like a computer is using it.
Yeah, the Scourge now are able to chase him back. A couple more connect right on top of those mutas. He gets the denial on that spore. And I thought Queen was going to be okay, but he's lost control of this base. He's lost the drones. And I don't think he has the muta count now to fight back.
Yeah, it seems like he has to back up for now. He still technically has the hatchery. Can he save it? Some more Lings going for an attempted counterattack, but it seems like there's enough here from herO that it shouldn't be that impactful. And yeah, that looks like that third base hatchery is going to end up falling.
Oh, I don't think he even knows about these. He has no idea. He's so caught up in this muta fight, he's going to lose all his drones in his main.
Ooh, yeah, but look at this. Chasing those mutas. Okay, they do mostly get away, but you're right, Tasteless. He lost so many drones here. Oh, my God.
Oh, this is insane. And now it looks like herO's just going to try to shove and all in.
But now Queen actually has more mutas over here right now. We might have some across the map that are rallying up, but I believe Queen actually wins this battle. Yeah, look at that. He has more now, but Ling's coming in for the counter as well. This is turning into an insane game right now. So much damage on both sides.
I think herO might have lost control of this game. It was like he was about to win it until he wasn't, and especially with those workers killed off in his main, the muta count now should be pretty insane here for Queen. And let's not forget, there's no anti-air. There's no spores here back in herO's base.
Dude, herO just lost his Spire. That's game. You don't come back from that. Losing the Spire here? Like, Queen just has to hatch some mutas and fly across the map. He doesn't have spores. He doesn't have more mutas on the way. And so, like, if you have more mutas, you win. And so I think Queen has done it. Like, herO, you can see him, he's trying to, like, kind of re-drone a bit. But I don't think that there's any way out of this.
I think you're right. I mean, I think that herO, it's kind of crazy because I think herO was on the verge of actually winning this game until he just lost control of it. I don't know that herO's going to actually leave just yet. I think he's still trying to rely on some Lings to counterattack and maybe get some damage, but it's going to be a long time before that Spire finishes.
Yeah, quite some time. I mean, I guess he can bank up gas and make a bunch at once considering he has 3 hatcheries, but he needs Queen not to attack him in that time.
Right.
He's got just 8 mutas, and look at that. That is a lot more than 8 right there. We have at least 14 mutas here, plus Scourge.
The Lings are going to come up here to counterattack again, but the big question that has to be answered is, does herO have enough to actually win this mutalist fight?
Yeah, he does not. So it looks like Queen will end up taking a map here against herO.
It's a start.
So it brings it a little bit closer. Yeah, 2-1 herO advantage, but I think Queen played a strong game. It really felt to me like it did to you that herO was about to win that. It felt like he had it, but the non-stop Ling counterattacks from Queen, eventually one of them really worked out for him.
That was a great ZVZ, man. That really was.
Yeah, it really was. It was very different. It felt very different from other ones. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Okay, well, it's not over yet. herO, it seemed like he was so close to actually seizing that moment and taking that game, but you got to watch your main, man. You can lose a ZVZ that you're winning in just a matter of seconds, and that's what happened there. Queen had an amazing counterattack and killed off those drones and then patiently defended when herO tried to shove with the mutas.
All right. Well, it's still... Okay, so when you put the 3 games together, it felt to me like herO was winning that one as well. So I'm still feeling herO for this series.
I'm still feeling herO or Tastosis. He does seem to be better at ZVZ, but we're not over yet. Guys, sit tight. We'll be right back with Game 4.
아이시스 8.0을 연다는 건 조금 이른 아침을 연다는 것. 나를 움직이는 핑크 에너지. 아이시스 8.0.
울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
함께 모이면 홈파티. 홈파티엔 먹방. 먹방엔 칠성사이다. 맛있어. 맛있는 자리에 빠질 수 없는 청량함. 칠성사이다.
어려워도 이렇게 멈추면 내가 아니지. 오늘이 모여 새로운 날을 만든다. 나의 레벨은 다르다. 어나더 레벨 핫6.
퇴근하고 뭐해? 퇴근하고?
오늘은 유셰프, 내일은 유러너, 주말은 유목수.
그걸 다?
본캐부터 부캐까지 하고 싶은 게 많은 요즘 시대의 커피. 칸타타 콘트라베이스.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time to go into Game 4. Queen has started the comeback. The question is, can he bring this all the way to a reverse sweep?
Well, I mean, obviously it's possible, but it seems like herO is just a little bit more on top of it tonight. He did make that mistake while he was going for the kill, but that really felt like a herO game. Like, he looked fantastic throughout. I think he took some novel approaches that we don't see very often and made them work out very, very well. He just didn't notice that there were lings in his face, right? Like, you're getting all these, you're under attack notifications, and sometimes you're just focusing on your micro so much you think it's that, right? Your mutas are under attack, so yeah, of course I'm under attack. Shut up, game. But really, shut up, drones.
I mean, it's weird, too, because, like, even the game that Queen won, we kind of all know, Queen knows and herO knows, like, oh, herO kind of had that. Like, I'm good for you with a link counterattack, but also herO kind of messed up for a second. But I think we could all be in agreement. Right now, herO does appear to be basically stronger in the matchup. Let's see if that turns out to be true as we go into Game 4.
All right, so bottom left, we have Queen. And top left, we've got herO. Map, of course, Good Night. I'd say as far as CVZ night goes, it's a pretty good night.
It has been a good night so far.
And tonight's going to be a good night.
That's what I play right before we start these ASL casts.
That song is so funny. All right.
So, yeah, I mean, kind of a cool last game. It does seem like herO really knows how to cut corners safely in this matchup.
Mm-hmm. I loved his double hatchery very quickly at the natural when he kind of like when Queen had the spores and like he was trying to hit some drones. He's just like, yep, we'll just double hatch, get that second gas on time with his second gas, and then you're just not behind, right? As far as Mutalist count goes. Of course, the game I'm most impressive with is the one that he lost. It seems like standard issue in my brain, Tasteless. It's like, you lost, but it was great. You know?
You lost, but you played very well.
It was a conceptual victory.
A conceptual victory. I like that.
Yeah.
So once more, we've got herO going for quick. I assume quickling speed here, but this time Queen's going to be matching him with builds.
Yeah. All right. We'll see how this mirror goes for these two. And I appreciate that their overlords went in the same direction as each other. Always like that when they can kind of keep an eye on each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Oh my God, a drone isn't mining Tasteless.
Oh no. Okay,
there we go.
He fixed it.
Finally.
I was gonna say he's gonna notice
Still.
it. Trust me. There's not that many places your screen needs to be in ZVZ.
I know. It's crazy when you see something like that actually last for any amount of time. That you can tell players have nerves in those situations.
Oh, for sure. And he went for layer right away. Now, keep in mind, he knows that his opponent's going to scout him. The overlords passed each other. And herO's not going to commit. He's going to stay on the high ground. Do we have a quick layer here for Queen? We've only looked at herO's main.
Yeah, we haven't
I'm
seen
kind
it.
of shocked
Okay,
that our observer would not go to the main right now. It's like really important for us to see that.
But at this point, they both mined 200 gas. So we're actually not going to know if it was speed first or layer first.
Yeah.
Could have been either. So, all right, still very even as far as the builds go. See if one of these guys chooses to be more aggressive. My guess would be Queen here. As you mentioned, it was a quicker layer coming out of herO. In fact, he hasn't bought speed. If you look at that gas count, he's up by like 116 gas.
Yeah, that's true. And keep in mind, guys, there's nothing that would indicate to you that the upgrade's coming from the pool. The Zerg buildings, it's actually really weird. Like, I think they forgot to design animations on some of the stuff for upgrades.
Yeah. Well, they never thought that this was going to be like a game that gets multiple decades of high-level competitive play, right? Like this was just a really cool space RTS, Orcs in Space that they were making, right? So it's understandable that stuff like that is missing, but it's true. It's like various buildings, like there's no Zerg buildings give you visual indicators for building things.
Right.
None of them. No upgrades, nothing. You never know what's being made.
Terran and Protoss have that, and it's funny because it kind of works out for this matchup because you can be a little bit more deceptive with that, and there are not that many buildings, so it would probably make them...
Actually, gateways, robos, observatories, robotic support bays, Templar archives, Citadel of Adun, none of those have visual indicators either.
Did you just look this up?
No.
It's just off the top of your head. You're right, yeah, Citadel doesn't have anything either. The Forge does.
Yeah. The Forge does. The
Stargate does.
Yeah, the Stargate does, and the Cybernetics Core does. Every single Terran thing has indicators.
That's so weird. It's almost like they probably designed all those indicators first for Terran and then got pushed.
Yes.
Like to get the game released and got halfway through Protoss and just pushed it out or something.
Yeah. It could be, or they just like didn't think of it, right? It's like yeah, no, it's a weird, scary obelisk that's doing its thing.
So funny. So these builds are still mirroring each other here. So we're going to get into a game where it's going to be a pretty even exchange to start things off. Now, it's the main closer by air. herO's main is closer by air, whereas Queen's expansion is closer. And Queen is not in a great position just in the sense that mutas can come right behind his expansion and then strike down drones pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Now, that always interesting when they go after the Overlords, right? Like, he went after the Overlord, then he went away, and then I think he was waiting to see where the mutas were from herO, right? In case they were, like, making a beeline towards his main or something. And they hit his Overlord, so he's like, okay, we have time to go over and finish this Overlord now.
So he killed that off. It looks like herO's going to come in here with a push now. Mutas and Lings heading down. He's got a pair of Scourge in with this group. I think it's 5 versus 4 right now, although no doubt Queen's going to have some more mutas hatching in a second.
herO with that supply block. Seems like he wants to go down, not going to be able to. The Ling coming back in here for Queen. I really like that. But hold on. Look at this group of mutas coming down. Very, very scary stuff right now for Queen, who just does not have very much here comparatively.
Yeah, and I think herO may just have the upper hand here, especially with this moving shot. The last muta's going to go down. That is the end of the line here for Queen, I think. As long as he's Scourged, yeah, that's going to be it.
Wow. Okay, well, a little bit anticlimactic here in the 4th game, but herO once again will knock out Queen in that 3rd place match and claim 3rd place in the ASL Season 12 for himself. Queen with another kind of disappointing loss. It's the same 2 guys, Tastosis, that are giving him trouble.
Yeah, it's funny because last year the whole narrative was really about, you know, is Queen now going to become the new best player? And, you know, this year was going to be the big test for that because obviously he dominated last year, but it seems like people have been catching up, and it's got to be frustrating, man. I mean, he came in this year with high expectations. Obviously, there's no shame in getting 4th place in an ASL, but he wanted to get first.
No, you're very right. Like, the people who win and get to the top do it over and over and over, and like so few people even get to experience this. But here is Queen with 2 first place and 2 4th place. It's not bad at all, but I mean, this is a guy that wants those championships, so a little bit disappointing, no doubt.
And so I mean, we're just doing a recap here, but basically he timed it out to have enough Scourge here. Very good with the shot on the opposing Scourge. And, you know, herO has done this a couple times now where he just knows how to get a leg up. And it seems like maybe Queen's play style is to basically be slightly greedier early on, and herO knows that. And just knows he can basically pick a mutalist dogfight and win.
Well, it certainly works out for him here, so...
Yeah.
Very nicely done. He did skip that Zergling speed too as well, right? So that's like another 100 gas. But yeah, herO. I think herO is really back in his absolute top form now. But let's go to a quick interview.
Season12 3사회전 경기가 모두 끝났습니다. 이번 시즌 3위로 유종의 미를 거둔 조일장 선수와 함께 이야기 나눠보겠습니다. 축하드립니다. 고생 많으셨습니다.
감사합니다.
네, 이번 시즌 비록 조일장 선수의 도전은 4강에서 멈췄지만 그래도 역시 3번 시드를 획득하면서 성공적인 마무리를 할 수 있었던 것 같은데요. 조일장 선수 소감 어떠신가요?
일단은 3등이라도 해서 너무 좋고요. 결승 못 간 게 못내 아쉽네요.
이번 시즌도 조일장 선수의 경기를 보면서 많은 분들이 굉장히 즐거워하셨고 조일장 선수 본인에게도 좀 의미 있는 시즌이 되지 않았을까 하는 생각이 드는데요. 돌이켜보면 좀 이번 시즌 조일장 선수에게 어떤 의미로 남을까요?
일단은 이번 시즌도 뭔가 자신감이 좀 넘쳤어요. 이번 시즌에 제가 뭐 내가 질까? 뭐 이런 멘트도 했었지만 뭔가 이번 시즌에는 좀 자신감이 넘쳐가지고 그래서 4강에서 졌던 게 아닌가 약간 그렇게 생각하고 있습니다.
오늘 3, 4회전 경기 역시 조일장 선수가 정말 후회 없이 마무리하고 싶다라는 좀 자신감과 과감함이 좀 드러났던 경기가 아니었나 싶어요. 조일장 선수 이번 시즌 가장 좀 인상적인 경기가 있을까요? 개인적으로?
저는 그냥 오늘 경기 중에서 그냥 1경기가 좀 기억에 남는 것 같아요. 평소에 쓰지 않는 빌드인데 그냥 한번 뭔가 생각을 해봤더니 뭔가 일회용으로 쓸만한 빌드 같다는 생각이 들더라고요. 그래가지고 해봤는데 좀 4강 때 이렇게 빌드를 짜볼 걸 생각이 들더라고요.
조일장 선수가 평소에 좀 보기 힘들었던 과감한 빌드의 전략을 또 한번 3, 4회전에서 보여주면서 다음 시즌 조일장 선수는 또 어떤 다채로운 모습을 보여줄까라는 기대를 또 다시금 하게 만들었습니다. 조일장 선수 다음 시즌은 또 어떤 각오로 임할 수 있을까요?
사실 2연속 3등인데 3등보다 높이 하려면 이제 결승 가야 되잖아요. 일단은 결승을 목표로 해볼게요.
이번 시즌 자신감을 얻었다면 다음 시즌은 그 자신감을 바탕으로 추진력을 얻는 또 시즌이 되지 않을까 싶습니다. 꾸준한 모습을 계속해서 보여주고 있는 조일장 선수를 역시 팬 여러분들은 꾸준히 응원해주고 계십니다. 팬들에게도 한 말씀 전해주실까요?
일단 이번에 결승을 못 가서 너무 죄송하고 좀 다음 시즌에는 진짜 꼭 갈 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
네, 이번 시즌 조일장 선수 너무 멋진 경기 보여주셔서 감사드리고요. 고생 많으셨습니다.
감사합니다.
자, 이렇게 해서 이번 시즌 3위로 마무리한 조일장 선수와 이야기 나눠봤습니다. 경기 결과 확인해 보시죠.
All right, so our final score, 3-1 here for herO. Queen with another disappointing defeat at the hands of this great Zerg player. But I think that we will be seeing these guys do fantastically next season as well. Honestly, I wouldn't even bat an eye if either of these guys won ASL Season 13.
Yeah, herO's still very much a threat. And honestly, this was a cast where I really am leaving this completely changing my mind on herO ZVZ. You know, I don't feel like we got to see a lot of herO ZVZ in the past. Or if we did, it didn't make a mark on me. But damn, he looks really good. Like, he might be the best ZVZ player there is.
Maybe. Yeah, he looked it tonight.
This finals, man. I mean, I am more excited for this finals, honestly, than I have been excited for a finals in a long time. I mean, this is just so cool. Obviously, we're going to cast the hell out of this thing. PVT, I know we've both been very active, so we have a lot of thoughts on the matchup. But, I mean, Mini and Rush really are ushering in a completely new way to look at the matchup. And I do think Mini is probably the favorite here, Tastosis.
Really? Maybe. I mean, I'm not really sure which way that this will end up going down. I think that Mini might prepare so well that it'll be hard for Rush, but I think that Rush is actually on par with Flash as far as this matchup goes. Like, he doesn't play the same style at all, but he's like... He's a mixture between Sharp and Flash. He's more aggressive than Flash in the matchup, but he optimizes super well also. I love his TVP. I've been studying it a lot myself. So I think that he is a match for anyone in the world right now in this matchup. In my opinion, it's his strongest. And you saw how good his Terran vs. Zerg was.
And I'll tell you what, man. I mean, that would be quite the story if Rush wins this season. You know, really pointing out you cannot doubt these guys. But Mini, I don't know. I think he might be able to take it. Man, if he could put the planning in that he showed in the semifinals, if he can apply that same kind of prep, I don't know what Rush is going to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of worried about for Rush. But Rush has a big variety of plays that he can do as well. I think that Mini, though, I almost just want him to win it because he kind of deserves it at this point. And also, I start to get afraid. If this will be his third finals, right? So if he loses, that's 3 losses in ASL finals. Eventually, this gets in your brain and screws with you. Think about Sue from StarCraft 2, right?
Right.
All these, it's called like the Kong line, which started with Yellow in Brood War, where like if you get too many second places, it actually messes with your mentality. And that could be something for an emotional player in Mini that could hurt his career overall. I think this is someone who could win a ton of championships over the course of his life, but a second place against someone who's in the finals for the first time, that would not do well for him.
Cannot wait to get this finals going. Guys, be sure to join us. We will see you then. Stay safe. We love you. Thank you for all the support on Patreon, and be ready for an amazing finals with Rush versus Mini. Bye-bye.